The Eyeless Man in Room 44. Full explanation. The Eyeless Man in Room 44 is a psychological and supernatural horror concept built on fear of the unseen, memory distortion, and forbidden knowledge. It's not just a monster story. It's about what happens when something watches you without eyes, and how observation itself becomes a weapon. Who is the Eyeless Man? The Eyeless Man is not a normal being. He has no eyes, no visible face, and no recognizable expressions. Yet, he sees more than any human ever could. He does not see with vision. He sees through your thoughts, your memories, your fear, your guilt. When he looks at you, he isn't watching you physically. He is reading the parts of your mind you thought were locked forever. He appears as a tall, thin humanoid silhouette. Fingers too long for their hands. A smooth face with no eyes, no nose, no mouth. Until he wants one. When he moves, the air grows heavy and sound bends. He doesn't walk loudly. He doesn't run. He arrives. Why Room 44? Room 44 is not just a place. It is a threshold room, a point where reality becomes thin. This room only appears in abandoned hospitals, closed mental asylums, old hotels, forgotten research buildings. Room 44 does not exist on blueprints. You can walk past the same wall for years and never see it, until the exact moment you are mentally weakest. The number 44 represents repetition of mistakes, cycles of trauma, doors that shouldn't reopen. Once you enter Room 44, time stops behaving normally. Seconds feel like hours. Memories melt. Reality cracks. What happens inside Room 44? Room 44 is always empty, quiet, smelling of dust and cold metal. At first, then, the walls begin to breathe. The ceiling lowers slightly. Your footsteps echo longer than they should. You may hear whispers calling your name. Footsteps that aren't yours. Breathing behind you. Then you see him. Not suddenly. Gradually. Like a stain appearing on reality. He stands in the corner. Tall. Still. Waiting. Observing. Even without eyes. He knows everything about you. The real horror. He knows you've been here before. The Eyeless Man does not meet people for the first time. When most people encounter him, he speaks one of these lines. You forgot this room. You promised you wouldn't come back. You were here when you were younger. That's the twist. Room 44 isn't about entering. It's about remembering. The horror is not being trapped. It's realizing you've always been part of the room, and you just forgot. Psychological meaning. This story represents repressed trauma, fear of forgotten memories, the terror of being known too well, fear of being watched even when alone. The Eyeless Man is not just a monster. He is the part of your mind that remembers what you try to bury. How this works perfectly for your YouTube channel. This concept is powerful because it feels like an urban legend. It feels believable. It works in faceless narration. It works with distorted, broadcast-style audio. It creates strong replay value. Example chilling line you can use in your video. He has no eyes. But he has always been watching you. You just didn't know where to look. The door to Room 44 closed by itself. No slam. No bang. Just a slow, soft click. Like it had been waiting for that sound. The air inside the room changed immediately. It became heavy. Not humid. Not warm. Just thick. As if the room was filled with something invisible that didn't want to move. Your breathing sounded too loud. Your heartbeat felt like it was echoing off the walls. And then, the light flickered. Once. Twice. Gone. But the room wasn't completely dark. A faint, sickly gray light began to leak from the walls. Not from a bulb. Not from a window. From the walls themselves. As if they were remembering what light used to be. That's when you realized something was wrong. The room was bigger. Way bigger than it should have been. From the outside, this building barely had space for a small office. But inside Room 44, the walls stretched too far. The ceiling was too high. The corners were too distant. Space was behaving incorrectly. And then you felt it. That cold pressure in the back of your skull. That sense that you were no longer alone. You didn't hear footsteps. You didn't hear breathing. You didn't hear movement. You just knew. Something was in the room with you. You slowly turned your head and saw him. He wasn't in the corner. He wasn't near the door. He was standing right in front of you, closer than your mind was ready to accept. Tall. Too tall. Thin. Too thin. His face was smooth. No eyes. No mouth. No nose. Just pale, stretched skin over a shape that should not exist. But somehow, he was smiling. You didn't see a mouth, but you felt the smile. You heard it in your head. A voice entered your thoughts not spoken aloud. You finally remembered how to come back. Your legs are locked. Your mouth went dry. You tried to speak. Nothing came out. The air was no longer air. It felt like cold hands around your lungs. The walls began to whisper. Not clearly. Not loudly. But with intent. Your voice. They were whispering in your own voice. Why did you forget me? Why did you leave me here? You promised you wouldn't forget. The eyeless man tilted his head slightly, and the walls reacted with him. They tilted too. The ceiling bent downward. The floor softened like skin. He leaned closer. No eyes. But he saw everything. He lifted one long finger and placed it gently against your chest, right over your heart. And suddenly, you remembered. You remembered being younger. You remembered crying. You remembered being dragged down a hallway. You remembered a door with the number 44 scratched into rusted metal. You remembered screaming. You remembered promising that you would never come back. The eyeless man's voice filled your thoughts again. You never escaped. You just learned how to forget. The room began to move. Not shake. Not spin. It breathed. Out. Out. The walls slowly started closing in. Not to crush, but to return something lost. The door behind you no longer existed. There were no exits. Only memory. Only the truth. Only him. He stepped even closer. You could feel his presence pressing into your skull. Your ears rang. Your vision blurred. Your thoughts scrambled. His final whisper slid through your mind like a knife. Room 44 was never a place. It was a part of you. And then the light vanished completely. Not darkness. Not black. Just absence. And in that absence, you heard the quietest sound of all. A soft door click. Somewhere far away. Room 44 opening. For someone else.